I'm back with some more predictions. It's really kind of unique, I think, about how the weather is changing so quickly and so dramatically. It really does seem like there is a climate change, and I think that's a fairly mild way to put it. Climate change. I think there's a lot of things that are changing with the planet itself. The rotation of the core, I saw that it's either slowing down or it's, starting to go the other way. There's a counter rotation, or, I also heard somebody say that because of the ice caps melting and there being more water on the surface, more water instead of a stabilized water, which is ice, that is going to have an effect on the way the planet spins as it goes around the sun. Right now, we are actually moving through space at 66,000 miles an hour. It's almost unbelievable that planet Earth could be traveling that fast. But that's how fast we're traveling, they say, through space. And I guess space is some dimension of time, so there we are. We're just traveling around the sun on this big old rock, this big old round rock that has some water on it, a lot of water. So I think we're going to see more. Obviously, anybody would say, okay, we're going to see more flooding, we're going to see more moisture, we're going to see more rain, we're going to see more snow, we're going to see more water events, major water events like hurricanes and kind of like tropical storms. I think will become much more common across the United States. These really windy and powerful downpours, almost like monsoons, I guess. I think that's what's happening weather-wise. And then, of course, you've got the heat, which is really a very, very major factor. The heat itself is a exceptionally major factor. And it just looks like the temperatures are going up like fairly quickly. Looks like they're going to continue to do that, and that's going to really have, I mean, some people have like analyzed and gauged this out to the nth degree, like, this chain reaction effect. If we get this, increase in heat, then it's going to cause this to happen, and this is going to cause this, and this is going to cause this. I think there's going to be more wildfires. I think there's going to be more heat-related incidents. I think it's going to put a lot of stress on the infrastructure, the electrical infrastructure throughout the United States. I think that there's going to be a lot more national emergencies declared because of this, or emergency zones. I think that things are changing, both on the political landscape and on the Earth itself landscape. And who knows how any of this is going to turn out. I mean, the wind has picked up like dramatically. Now you're getting tornadoes all over the place. You're getting a lot of like wind storms. There's just, there's a high degree of wind. now. And, you think of it. If the velocity of the wind picks up to, say, 60 to 100 miles an hour, average, right? It's a whole new world. 60 to 100 mile an hour winds, yeah, it's a whole different world, right? And that's not very far off. These winds are going to continue to pick up speed. And if they pick it up exponentially, I mean, I can imagine that some of the planets probably have, I don't know, how high can the wind speed go? Can it go supersonic? Can it go 600 miles an hour winds? I mean, it would blow everything off the landscape. I don't think you could have many buildings that were above ground. And you'd have to build underground. You'd have to build some kind of corridors or what have you. But anyway, that's my take, part of it anyway, on what's going on with Mother Earth. And yeah, it's caused by we humans, most of it. We're digging into the earth. We're just really scraping away vast parts of the earth. We're overpopulated by far. We've got all of these vehicles. We've got all of these. If I walk over to 101 right now, and I could walk there from here easily, we do it almost every day, there's going to be just cars backed up on both sides as far as your eye can see. And most of those vehicles have only got one person inside of them. And though there are a lot of Teslas and electric and hybrids and everything, most of them are gas vehicles. So they're emitting the heat from the engines. They're emitting, and that's not to say that EVs don't emit heat, because they do. Excuse me. I don't think they emit the same kind of pollutants or heat that gas vehicles do. I do think we have to move to a more EV world in every vehicle. I think we need to move toward EV. I think that's the right way to go. I think the right way to power our homes and so forth is with, solar generated or I don't know how the windmills, I know the windmills here would do wonderful if they put up these windmills or these, wind turbines. We haven't even begun to tap the potential sources for energy that we have available to us that we can convert to electricity. But what do you do about the heat? I think everything has to be converted as quickly as it possibly can be so that we get away from the generation of heat on this planet, because everything's producing heat, right? Just my body's probably producing almost 100 degrees out here because it's burning calories and it's producing heat, right? Truck engines, vehicle engines, think how hot they get with the muffler system and everything. I mean, they get hot enough to fry food on. So yeah, they're well above 200 degrees, probably more like, in some cases, maybe 300 or 400 degrees. I don't know. They probably do get up that hot. But yeah, there's just a tremendous amount of heat being generated. I think we need to bring that down. I think the only way we can do it is by harnessing natural means of creating electricity. And we can do it. We can do it with the air, the water, and the sun. We can certainly change over to that system, and it needs to be done. And it needs to be done soon. If future generations are going to live above ground here on planet Earth, it needs to be done. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen if these the winds, the storms, the fires, the rains, the torrential rains, the downpours, the flooding, and then what happens if you get a true shift, a polar shift? What happens if, New York State or New York City becomes the new ice cap center, and everything starts getting really cold and freezing around there? I mean, we've got some major shit going on. But anyway, just want to encourage everybody to relax, smile. There's not much we can do, but what we can do, we should do, and that'll help. If everybody does just a little bit, that'll add up to a whole lot. And it's not about saving the planet. The planet will save itself. If we get, it's like a dog with, fleas or water on its back or something. It's going to shake us off if it gets too irritated. But we ought to kind of love this earth a little bit. We ought to be earth lovers. We ought to be, and we ought to try to make things decent for those that are going to come after us. We ought, the generations to come. We ought to leave the planet in some kind of condition where they can live and exist without additional problems as well. But anyway, that's my little spiel for today. I'll see you all soon.
Pretty good.